Everyone, this is Elias from Red Match Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2025 Genesis G80 3.5T all-wheel drive. Now this, even though it looks kind of subdued, really surprised me. Yeah, this thing really packs a punch. So let's go ahead and get started. So we get started in the front, and first, the color. The Vatna Gray color looks really good. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Genesis color selection is so spot on, and it works so well with their vehicles that even a simple gray color looks extraordinarily well with the vehicle. So, loving this color. And for the 2025 model, we basically get started with the headlights, and these headlights have changed. Now, we haven't changed the kind of double stacked headlights, but the elements inside are different than the 2024. Honestly, this is a big upgrade in the looks and in the light output as well. They look incredible. I love having all those little elements. They kind of look like diamond cubes in there. So looks really, really awesome. Love this. And then we have our typical Genesis design, which isn't bad. It's really great. We have the Genesis badge up here. We have the crest to reflect the same Genesis badging, which has like the black chrome feel to it, which looks really good. Then at the bottom we have a flat black plastic, and then we have the openings on the side here as well. Overall though, this thing looks really good. I love this Genesis design, and that little touch to the headlight definitely made this 2025 even better than what it was before. So let's go ahead and see what we have under this hood. We get under the hood and we have the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, and it is cranking out 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 8-speed auto and then to the all-wheel drive system. Now, this V6 is incredible. The twin turbos work well, deliver the power extremely smooth, and those 8 speeds in the auto are perfectly fine. I know in this world now we're looking at like 10 speeds and things like that, but the 8 speeds work great. They're super smooth off the line, which is not what I've experienced with other vehicles recently. Some of these kind of just want to go, or they take a while and then go. So the first gear is good. I like it. Like I said, unlike I've experienced recently. And then the all-wheel drive system is very unintrusive. You don't even recognize that it's an all-wheel drive system like you do with other vehicles, where the power just uneasily transfers back and forth kind of thing. It works well. The rear wheel steering, yeah, I kind of gave it away. I will discuss that later, but it's great to handle the power as well. But I was super surprised by this. It does pump the volume in a little bit into the engine, into the cab. So you do get a little bit of a fake engine sound, but it's not too bad. The sound itself is also not too bad either. But yeah, power delivery is definitely there, especially with a big guy like this. It really gets this thing moving. So let's go ahead and take a look at those big wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have this big 20-inch wheel, and it is wrapped in the 245/40 in the front and 275/35 in the rear with the Pirelli P0 all seasons. Now, a couple of things with this. So the wheel design looks great. I love this design. It's a very iconic Genesis design. It's a 5-spoke, but there's some depth to it. There's kind of like these dimples that kind of cut out into it, add more flair to it, add more pizzazz to it, so to speak. Looks great. Love this wheel design. The color's nice as well. It's a darker gray tone than we get with the actual gray of the car. So it looks good. The tires were great. Super quiet, performed well with having this big guy get moved around. No issues with grip. All-wheel drive was definitely working well, so no issues with that. We do have four-wheel steering. So we do have four-wheel steering, and with us having the different sizes and tires, It's gonna get expensive. I just realized that because we have the 235 here and the 275 in the back. So just be ready for that, especially when we get the rear that turns, so we're scrubbing a little bit more tire off. But no issues with that. The brakes are great though. Yeah, love them. No issues. Suspension, oh my gosh, this thing is a dream to drive. It's super comfortable. The only thing, again, with the rear steering, it's going to feel like you're floating on a ball. Like if you're on a ball in the middle of the car, and it will do a weird floating thing, you'll have to get used to it. But once you do, you're gonna love it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the side. We get to the side, and I'll say this thing sits executively. It really does, if that makes any sense. But it does. It looks beautiful. It's just a really great silhouette. It does have kind of an A7, Audi A7 kind of rear to it, which is good. It looks, I think it executed it a little bit better than the A7, but looks great. We get started in the front area, and yeah, we have that nice big hood on there. We see the headlights just kind of peeking through there. When they are on, again, you can see a little bit of those diamond cubes, as I like to call them, because they look like that. And then we have the 20-inch wheels, which look great. Again, a good size. And yeah, even though they're smaller profile tires, they really absorb the road, so loving that. And then we have the side markers there. We have the mirror with the 360-degree camera system there. We do get a black chrome framing around the windows. It's not the dark one that we get in the front, but it's not super bright chrome either. And same thing with the door handles. We get that on there with the little trim at the bottom. And then the rear, we see the taillights kind of sticking out a little bit or coming over a bit. Now, design line wise, I love what happens here in the back door, where it just kind of develops a line, and it gives it a hip, so to speak, for the rear to really kick out in a design way. So loving the way that looks. But yeah, this thing is incredible. I love the lines to it. It's just so well, beautifully designed. Now, I don't have the key in my pocket because proximity sensor will go ahead and unlock it. So let me go ahead and grab it off camera. So I grabbed the key and it's in my pocket. The moment I get near it, yeah, it unlocks, and I'm ready to just go ahead and open the door. Yeah, really nice. Now, one of my favorite things, soft close doors. So I'll go ahead and close it, and yeah, it just closed it on its own. So loving that, especially if, you know, you have kiddos, you just tell them, don't close it, or you just sell it to them as a gimmick. Yeah, you just simply tell them, yeah, just get it close, and it will go ahead and grab it for you. Magic. Parent tricks, yeah. And same thing happens in the rear. You can go ahead and open it. It does have a sensor. We're just kind of needing to pick it up. But we open up the back, and again, you tell the kids, look, if you just gently close it, it will grab it like magic. And then you saved yourself a lot of money with having to fix a door that was slammed very hard by a little kid. So that's what you get. Big doors, easy to get into. So let's go ahead and head to the back and see what we have back there. We get to the back, and the design work continues to excel. This rear looks incredible. Love it. Very sleek. So one of my favorite things is that we do have the rear glass kind of meets up with the line of the trunk, so it just looks like one whole continuous piece, which looks great. And then my favorite, of course, we get the softest of ducktails here as a spoiler. It's the smallest of just little kinks in the trunk lid, but it just looks really good. Love the way that looks. And then the taillights look awesome. I love the fact that we have just kind of this like surrounding red to frame the taillight itself, and I love the fact that we have those double stacked taillights as well. So incredible design, just bold, different, cool. Just thank you, Genesis, for allowing your designers to have fun with things and not just be in a box, so to speak. But yeah, we then have the G8 G80 badging. We have the Genesis badging, all-wheel drive, 3.5T there. And then we have this cool black framing around here that just goes around to the bottom. And then the exhaust tips. Yeah, this is kind of where things get tricky. That's not the opening. There is an exhaust pipe under here that is really the opening. What would I have liked? Maybe not even have this. Just give me some dual exhaust on both sides, duals kind of thing, or quad exhaust tips, so that it looks really cool. Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing that I dislike, because again, I hate these fake exhaust ends, but they still look good. Just I hate the fact that they're not functional. But that's what we have in the rear. So let's go ahead and see what we have in this trunk. We go ahead and open up the trunk by pressing there, and there is a good amount of space in here. I was surprised. Now, the only thing though is it's not super deep, so just be aware of that. You can see I have some groceries I need to kind of unload, but yeah, it's about 2 stacks of waters high. Yes, I know Americans use anything but the metric system, but yes, 2 stacks of water bottles is what you get. On the left hand side here, we are going to have a nice little net. For that, we have an additional net down here as well to you know, if I needed to kind of latch these things on, and if I had my bag under here if I wanted to. We have a kit here for the jack there, and yeah, we have the front license plate, the manual there as well. And then under here was kind of surprising, we have a spare tire. So yeah, that black wheel looks actually really nice, so loving that. And we also have the battery right under there. But yeah, that's kind of what you get back here, and not too bad. So loving that. We take a look at the front door, and there is a lot of cool things in here. So first, yes, with the obvious, we do get the red interior with this one. But let's get started kind of at the top. So at the top, we have a good armrest that just kind of, you know, enough space, and the material is really nice and soft. Here we get some carbon fiber trim, which is kind of like a dry carbon, but not, because it's still kind of, you know, has a finish to it. So loving that. We get the brushed aluminum look handle for the door to open. We have 2 safe seats settings there. We have the tweeter for the Bang & Olufsen system, which looks so nice and it sounds incredible. So loving this. Again, looks great, sounds just as good. So we have the top, we have this mid-range, and then we have a more woofer or bigger mid-range there. So love that. And again, yeah, the controls very comfortable. My favorite, the child lock. Yeah, so the child lock is right in here to make it easy for you to lock the rear doors, just in case you forgot. And like myself, I always forget because I deal with so many different cars. So it was nice that I was just able to go bam, and the rear doors were locked. So loving that. We take a look at the seats, and yes, these things not only look incredible, they are incredible. They were so comfortable to sit in, and adjustability, that's a yes. What adjustability do you want? Yes, it has it. It's so good. Now that little button, yeah, that little button had me super relaxed when I was driving the G80, because it has massage. So not only do we get the cool option for venting, we have the heated option as well as the massage option. So these things are really all that you need. Adjustable, big boy friendly, nice soft materials, beautiful look to them. Yeah, everything, all of the above. We take a look at the steering wheel, and this thing is beautiful. I love this thing. So let's get started on the materials. It is so soft. It is one of the softest leather, and I love that we get that there. On the outside, we have that kind of black, it's almost like a super dark blue, but it's not. It's like a dark gray, dark blue / black kind of color to it. So not just that, but on the inside, we have the dimpled leather, and it is in the red color. So love the way that this feels as well. And the design, I mean, the selection to kind of do that just looks so nice. Love this thing. And yeah, we do have the bottom, flat bottom, and the stitching does stay in red, so love that there as well. And yeah, the airbag looks great. Small little horn area there. And on the left hand side, we're gonna get our cruise control options there, as well as for the gauge cluster. And then on the right hand side, we're gonna get more gauge cluster controls, as well as like volume and that stuff there. And we also have paddle shifters back here to basically put it in the manual mode. So loving that. It just looks so nice. I mean, look at that. We get over to the gauge cluster, and this thing is big. It's one connected screen to the infotainment screen as well. It's big, it's clear, it's bright, it's awesome. We kind of have these like tiles. So on the left hand side, we have the speedometer with the tachometer mixed in there as well. In the middle, we're gonna get these like current trip, you know, MPG stuff. And then on the right hand side, we have the option for the you know, that kind of tile, so to speak. And that tile, let me go ahead and zoom in on it. That tile lets you change it between you know, so we have different categories. So we have that, we have basically the MPG stuff, we have local weather stuff there, yeah, sports stuff, so you know, news kind of thing, which you can see we're fighting some rain, and we'll be dealing with kind of some forecast stuff. So yeah, we have that. Then we have the Apple CarPlay stuff. So there's a lot to this. We get over to the infotainment part of this massive screen, and it's big, it's bright, it's out of the way, actually. Yeah, if you take a look, that's kind of what you get. So I love that. So it's really out of the way. We have wireless Apple CarPlay. Yes, thank you, Genesis, for finally jumping on the wireless bandwagon that everyone should be jumping on. So love that we have that. And yeah, I mean, ultimately though, when we go home, we can see all these different options that we have for the vehicle. If we do 3D setup, what's cool is that you can go to the 3D view of the car, and if you want to see a specific part of the settings, so let's say like the doors, we can go to doors, press there, and it switches us to the setting part of that door. So yeah, pretty cool. Is it a gimmick? Kind of. If you're a more visual person, you're gonna love this. So love that we have that. But overall though, yeah, it's a big screen. Love the way that it looks. Apple CarPlay wirelessly is my favorite thing about this system. And actually, no, I'll take that back. I love these guys. So I love the fact that we have these buttons. So they're not actual buttons. They're just kind of touch sensitive things. So I love them because you're able to select these and have quick shortcuts to different parts of the menu in the system. I don't have to kind of get out of Apple CarPlay and then go navigating to those. If I want to switch over to like radio, I can just simply quickly click on that or press on that, and we're good to go. And as well as you always have the programmable star button there. Then we come down here to the climate control systems, and love it. Even though it's a touch system and I like buttons, they're pretty good. Yeah, my hands are super dry, but they're really good with that. No issues with it. You know, we have the fact that it's really just set it and forget it. It hasn't been like awkwardly me having to make it a little bit warmer, make it a little bit colder. I've set it and forgotten about it, and I'm really good to go with that. So love that. Then we come back a little bit lower, and we do have this kind of carbon fiber print here. I believe this is actual carbon fiber, so it looks good. It feels really nice too, so loving that. And yeah, we have more buttons here to get to different parts of the system. So we do have the home, we have the menu, and then we have just kind of your basically go back buttons there as well. So love that. And then we have the joystick essentially. So it's also a dial, so you have the dial to position where you want to be with the selection, as well as you can move it over, up, down, left, right kind of thing with that. Then if I had this set up, basically it's for like your fingerprint there. Obviously, it's a press car, not setting that up. And then we have the auto hold, which has been great. Easy to release when you go to accelerate. No weird things with it, so love that. Then we get the basically the gear selector. Really easy. Literally just kind of spin it to where you want to go with that, and just spin it a little bit to go neutral, and then P in the middle to go ahead and put it in park. On the right hand side, we have some cup holders. They may not be big Texas size cup friendly because of this little door, so just kind of be aware. I didn't experience it with big cups, so I can't really say for sure, but just kind of be aware of that. It is really deep though. That's one thing that was pretty impressive with this. And then we come back a little bit more. We have more buttons. We have basically the auto start stop. We have our drive modes here. So this has, when you press it, we have the sport mode, we have sport plus, which turns off traction control, and then the my mode that I can choose whatever I want, you know, the different parameters of that. And then obviously comfort, which is where I've been 99% of the times, except when we were reviewing it and I went into sport plus without the traction control, which was you'll see. But we have that, and then we have the parking cameras, which have been great, super easy to use. I love this because now I can go ahead and press here, and I can use to get the front view. We have the top view. We have the, yes, wheel view. Thank you for using the wheel view, or using that camera to show us the wheel view. And then obviously we have the full camera, full screen for that view. And I can actually activate the rear camera as well, even though I'm not in reverse. There's been so many times where I want to just see what's behind me without having to put it in reverse. You'd be surprised how many systems don't let you do this. So it's kind of infuriating when you do have it in an awesome system like this, and then you get in another car that doesn't. So it's definitely a game changer, and you'll notice it when you don't have it. And then of course you have the rear tires as well. So if you want to make sure you don't curb those wheels when you are parallel parking, this is a great feature to have on there. And then we have the full screen view, and then we can also do just kind of a pan of it. So yeah, really cool. Love this camera system. It is incredible. Yeah, and then obviously we have kind of your settings for that. But this is just, yeah, this is what a camera system needs to be for every vehicle that has a 360-degree system. Now we come back a little bit more, and we have the wireless charger here. Now this wireless charger, probably one of the best ones that I've experienced, because of one small detail. You see that little lip, that little step up to where the actual charging pad is? That is what every single wireless charger needs, because when we take a look at our phones, they're not quite flat. You see those cameras? Yeah, those cameras have some thickness to them, and they have a little lip, and when you put a phone protector case on it, it's gonna make it even more. So the fact that we now, and I won't even do the chuck test because this car is too luxurious to do so. But immediately when I place it on there, it's sitting on that additional little pad. It has a grip, so it's not going to be a problem with it moving. And my favorite thing, yes, we have an indicator that it is charging. So if my wife is wanting to use the phone, but I'm tapped into the wireless Apple CarPlay, it will tell me that it is charging without us having to really, you know, touch the phone constantly and see if it's going through. But this is incredible. This is what every wireless charging in a vehicle should be like. Yeah, that's what you get there. And then we get to the armrest. My gosh, this thing is so soft. That red leather looks incredible. We push the button and it's split open like that. But that's where it kind of falls flat, is we don't have much space. We do have 2 USB-C connections, but we barely have space for my Racebox telemetry device. So don't expect a lot of storage here. That's what you get with the armrest, really nice and comfortable. Oh, one thing, again, that I always like to show, which is my favorite, is this. So if you have someone going into the back, or a kiddo, and maybe the seat was left too forward, or you're wanting to really put something in the front seat and you're needing the space, you can move this guy all the way back. Look at that. And I have all this space, and I didn't even have to get out of my seat. So I could do it just right in here. And yeah, basically you're good to go. We get to the back door and this thing is awesome. I love the look to this, and we have a couple of things we obviously can't get in the front, and that is the peasant blockers. So we are able to, now these are manually done, so you have it to manually go ahead and grab it. Yeah, so you have that. Then we have the arm rest area, which obviously when you have the shield up or the peasant blocker up, you're not going to be able to really put your arm there. So yeah, just kind of be aware of that. Now we have the carbon fiber print, which looks really good, brushed aluminum finish look to it, and the Bang & Olufsen system there as well. Red stitching, red leather, a little bit of a space for a water bottle, and then we have the woofer there. But then we come back here and this thing just gets so much nicer as well. So we have these beautiful seats, which I am a big fan of. They're super comfortable, super plush. My kiddo was having a blast sitting back here. Super easy to actually put his kid's seat latched in there as well, his booster seat. With that, we do have a big transmission tunnel, so or you know, drivetrain tunnel, so just kind of be aware of that. So yeah, middle person is really gonna have to have their feet on one and the other. But if you don't have a person in the middle, you can go ahead and open this up, and yeah, we get fancy in here. Like my kid said, we have the cup holders there, we have the heated seats for the back, and then we also have the rear peasant blocker. So we push that button and we get that, and it's powered. So this one is powered, which is good. And then here we also have his secret compartment, like he says, so we can go ahead and put things through should you need to. What I like about it though is obviously, yeah, that design is really nice there. We close this off. We also have additional storage there as well, with USB ports in there, and they have their own climate system there. Let's just say the rear passengers are gonna be enjoying their trip just as much as you are in the front. Okay, so I'm extremely relaxed right now because to get to this driving spot that I do for my reviews, it's about 10 minutes, and I have the massage seats going on right now, and I'm super relaxed. I don't know if I want to go into my house after this. I just want to sit here and enjoy this seat and the drive as well. So let's actually get started. And I do have it in comfort mode right now. And one thing with that steering, that rear steering, you can see it really can get moving. So that's kind of the funny thing with this, is it feels like you have a ball in the middle of the car and you're rotating off of that. It gets some, you have to get used to it as a driver, I'll tell you that. So just kind of be aware of that. At first, I wasn't a big fan, and I still am not 100% of a big fan for the Genesis system. Mercedes nailed it with the EQS, so I love their system. The reason I don't like this one is the steering ratio is not right, because it really puts you, you're gonna be oversteering into the right turn, in the sense that you're probably gonna get closer to hitting the curb when you make a right, and then you're having to just kind of correct. So just kind of be aware of that. Take it easy at first so you can kind of get used to it. But yeah, it does feel like you have, and after a certain speed, it won't really use that, as I can feel it really. But at slower speeds, it's definitely gonna be significantly noticeable. It's great though. It's great for you to be able to you know, go ahead and get into super tight spots, and yeah, like I showed you, and to get out of super tight spots as well. But this drive is so relaxing. I don't want to do this review because I just want to relax, and that's what's so great about this car, is that it's so relaxing. It really is. And the ride quality is there. You know, we're hitting some pretty big bumps, and it's like, okay, sure, I guess, don't worry, I'll absorb these for you and not channel it to the cab or inside of the Genesis. So it's really smooth at doing so. And again, we are in comfort mode. It's just relaxing, even with those big wheels and maybe not the tallest of side profile tires, but it's so good. I'm relaxed with my almost said exercise, with my ergo motion seat, which is basically a massage. So it's really good too. And who would I think it was Mercedes, the one that has the really good one. Yeah, but this is up there with it. So the other thing, I'm just, again, I'm sitting back enjoying this ride. You know, we have 337 miles to go on this tank, and I could probably drive all of those and be fine and relax in it. Now, enough being relaxing, we'll go ahead and switch this over to Sport Plus. So we'll use the Sport Plus option, which actually takes off the traction control. I'm feeling a little confident with this one because we do have the all-wheel drive on it as well. So I don't think I'm gonna kick out the rear like I was in the G70. So let's go ahead and have some fun. Yeah, sport mode, so we get a little bit of some red changes on here, and away we go. Yeah, now, even though we are in a Sport Plus, the suspension is still soft. So it's not super stiffened up or more performance. And wow, that rotation is good with that rear steering. It definitely helped me out there to have very little input, but still gave me a ton of confidence. Let's see if we can feel it a little bit more when we drop. Whoa, yes. That is incredible. I haven't driven this in a performance aspect of it, so this is my genuine reaction to first time feeling this. That is pretty good. Now, I will tell you that when we're catching a little bit more speed, it does feel kind of, you have to really keep the steering wheel centered, or else it feels like it's kind of, you know, gonna veer off to one side or another. So, and it's the sensitivity is really high, is what I'll say for that. But oh yeah. Wow, that mid corner there was unbelievable. So that surprises me a lot. I was not expecting that. Now, let's see if this is just as surprising. So we'll go ahead and do the 3-point stop. So we have a wheel a little bit off. We'll go ahead and turn the wheel completely and see how good this system is. Now, yeah, the grass is tall, so it is a little bit on the smaller area to make this 3-point turn. Yes, I know there's something there. Yes, it's freaking out because of the tall grass. And there we go. And I will say, for a big car like this, I am pretty impressed because I haven't been able to do that in a lot of cars with the tall grass. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. Loving that 4-wheel steering. And again, though, you do have to get used to it. Now, we've gone ahead and set up the Racebox telemetry, and it measures both drag and lap. It's a lap timer as well. All in one box. It's great. Love this thing. If you're interested in it, I'll put my link in the description for a possible little discount. But we've gone ahead and put the Genesis in Sport Plus mode. I don't think we're going to spin any tires, especially with the all-wheel drive. So I don't think that's going to be a problem with us having the traction control off. Now, the other thing as well is I tried brake boosting it and it didn't do anything. It kind of bogged down. So we are going to go ahead and just use the brake hold as our basically hold, and we're just going to hammer it with the gas pedal. So away we go. Okay, so the numbers, we're dealing with 0 to 30 in 2.49 seconds and 0 to 60 in 5.91 seconds. And yeah, it feels that way. So the 0 to 30 definitely takes a little bit longer than maybe other vehicles. And it's just because it's, yeah, again, I can't brake boost it because it will just bog down, and really, like I said, that's the best way to just hit the gas. And then the 0 to 60 isn't bad. It's a big vehicle, but you know, I don't think the straight line is really where this thing is really the kind of winner for things. But I can tell you that it's definitely a winner for me in the turns. This thing has been incredible how I can just get the power down. Oh, it tightened up my seatbelt there. And yeah, it's just so good at getting this turn. Wow. So yeah, it's just so good at getting this thing rotated, even though it is a big car, and those tires are so good at gripping and telling you what they're doing. That was I almost feel wrong for not having driven it like this and just being in comfort mode the whole time and just relaxing and yeah, enjoying it in the other way. I think this is probably the most Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing, because you don't suspect a vehicle like this to be able to move and rotate like that just did. Even I wasn't expecting it because I've been driving it all week and it didn't feel that way because it wanted me to just relax. But looks are deceiving is what I would say with this. Yeah, I stand corrected with this. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my review of the Genesis G80 all-wheel drive. And remember, find the right gear. See ya.